Oh, that was a little premature. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay, and I am your host. If you're not familiar with me, and this is the first time you've been here, make yourselves known in chat. And if you have been here and you'd like to become a member, we have a lot of fun over in our Discord, and we would love to see you there. I want to thank all the moderators for being here this Friday. It's Friday, January the 5th, if you can believe that. And it's Coke 0 o'clock. I was like, do I switch or do I stick with coffee right now? I'm like, it's Coke 0 time. So happy Friday, everybody. We made it through the holidays. We made it through the new year. And how about you guys? Let's do a little poll for the new year. I want to know how you guys are feeling this new year. And just as a reminder, tonight we're going to be doing J is for Justice After Dark. And we're going to be doing the Epstein Files Part 2. There's about 300 pages that came out yesterday. So join us for J is for Justice After Dark. And I think I need to update that Discord link, guys. So we might need to grab that one from the moderator forum on Discord. I think the one in Streamlabs is expired. And we are at 93,996 subscribers. So we're almost at 94. And then we can count down 6,000 more to that 100K. So get your votes in. I want to know if you're feeling a good vibe about 2024. Because so far I am. I mean, we've heard some bad things in the news. But you know what? That goes with the territory. Like, there's always bad things in the news. But I mean, besides the news, you know, personally, like in your own life, are you feeling a good vibe? Are you feeling positive about the new year? Or are you feeling, I don't know if this is going to be my year? That is the question. Hold on. And we've got quite a few stories to get through today. So I hope you guys have your patient caps on. Because as I say every Friday, we go at our own pace. This is our Friday Live. This is where we catch up from our week and talk to each other and go over the true crime of the week. And I've got one hell of a going out video for you guys today. So our first story is going to be about the Crumbleys. So Jennifer and James Crumbley are the parents of Ethan Crumbley. Ethan Crumbley is sentenced now to big boy prison for the rest of his life for the murder of 4 students in Oxford, Michigan. Now, his parents, his dad in particular, supplied him with the gun, took him to go buy it. His mother did not get him any help. She went shooting with him and things like that. But now their trials are separate. So we're going to have Jennifer and James, and I don't even know who's going first yet. I'm assuming it's her because she's making all these weird motions right now. She's making all these weird motions. And yes, Island Thrifts, it's an election year. So I think we all need to just kind of buckle in because we know election years can be crazy. And since it's 2024 and we have no idea what to expect, I think we need to just buckle in and expect shit to get crazy, and then we won't be surprised. But we've got each other. We've got each other all right here. So I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be golden. Just fine. So Miss Kimberlee is our first story. Let's take a listen to this video because this is her first request to exclude evidence from her trial. So the first thing she's asking, and it's like, so sad, too bad, lady. She wants the bird evidence thrown out. She wants the bird evidence that Ethan Kimberlee, remember he killed the baby birds and like sent a video to his friend and things like that. So this is what she wants to get thrown out. Let's take a listen.
Son set to be sentenced for the Oxford school shooting in just a few days. Jennifer Kimberlee is expressing new concerns about her own upcoming trial. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 5. I'm Devin Skillion.
I'm Kimberlee Gill. The shooter will be sentenced Friday, closing one chapter in the Oxford school shooting. But both his parents still face trial for involuntary manslaughter in January, and there's some things Jennifer Kimberlee does not want brought up in court. Sean Lee is live with a new filing in this case. Sean.
Jennifer.
Kimberlee, tonight we went over that filing word by word. The thing that jumps out is that Jennifer Kimberlee does not want bird evidence. I said that right. Bird evidence introduced in her trial. That means her son, well documented how he tortured birds and killed baby birds and even put it on video. Jennifer Kimberlee and attorneys say they do not want a jury to hear that to apply that to her, Jennifer Kimberlee, because she says she knew nothing about it. Local 4 polling the latest court filings from Jennifer Kimberlee. Her lawyers fighting to keep a list of evidence out of her trial evidence they do not think applies to her case, evidence they do not want the jury to consider. The headline here, the bird evidence. The Oxford high school shooter, prior to the shooting, making horrific videos of himself killing birds, baby birds, delighting in the killing. Her attorney calling the details extremely disgusting and inflammatory. She never knew about her son and the birds. A jury could use such awful details against her. Jennifer Kimberlee and her husband James are the first in the nation to be charged in a school shooting, charged with involuntary manslaughter for allegedly ignoring their son, ignoring his cries for help, and buying him the gun used in the shooting. The attorney for Jennifer Kimberlee also wants evidence of a second extramarital affair tossed out of her trial. The affair was when her son was just 6.
She had 2 affairs? I didn't know there was 2. I thought she just had the one where she was doing the guy at Costco in the parking lot. She was cheating on James when Ethan was 6. And remember, the neighbor said that they used to leave Ethan alone when he was 6, when he was that age, that he was left alone. And, you know, if she's claiming she didn't know about the baby birds, maybe she should have known. I don't think they're going to get that thrown out because it's just like the shooting. He was telling you he had mental issues. You should have been checking his phone. You should have been checking what he was doing, who he was talking to. They should have had eyes on him. But she's out screwing around, not only with one guy, but 2 guys. And she gets these horses and she neglects her son and puts the horses in the forefront because Jennifer loves horses.
What evidence can stay in right now? The hours Jennifer Kimberlee spent horseback riding while her son said he was having hallucinations, asking for mental health help. Back here live, the judge on this case has thrown a number of things out. One of those things are extramarital affairs with James and Jennifer Kimberlee, but this is a second one that came up when the shooter was 6, and defense attorneys for Jennifer Kimberlee worried that it might come up, and says it has nothing to do with what actually happened at Oxford High School. So we're going to check very closely what the judge will rule because this trial is coming up on January 23rd. Kimberlee.
On the corner, and we will be following it. Sean, we appreciate it.
Ew, Huerman. get him out of there. All right, so there she is. I had no idea about the second affair. That's crazy town. Let me show you a picture I found of Jennifer Crumbley from when she was a child. This is proof that Jennifer does love horses. Check this out. She was a chubby little child. And I found this online, and it says this is in Alabama. It's definitely her. But it says this is in Hayden, Alabama, and she is with her horse, Mystery. Isn't that wild? Have y'all ever seen this photo of Jennifer Crumbley? I was shook. I was like, what? But that's defo her. Let me show you what she, how she's transformed in jail too. Wait for it. Oh, I don't have it. Dang it. I thought I had it on here. Maybe it's on my computer. Hold on. I had a side by side. She's gained a lot of weight. She's had some honey buns up in the Oakland County Jail. But anyways, yeah. That is Jennifer Crumbley. I need to find a recent picture so you guys can see a side by side. Who? Andy Milanicus? Is that the guy that did the kid that did that show? The Nickelodeon show or whatever? Like, that's the only other picture I can find of her besides the shooting stuff. Or, like, her work picture. Like, look at this. Hold on, I'm going to pull up a couple pictures of her. Y'all, I am shook. She looks, I mean, not that she was a looker before, but damn, she's changed. And she's only been in county. Wait until she's in frickin' prison. Because they're each facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. And they could face up to 15 years in prison for their charges. So let's take a look at some pictures of Jennifer. Here is her attorney, Shannon. Shannon, who defended that sicko, Larry Vassar. And let's see. This is her now. Guys, this is her now. Oh, oh. Not looking well, Miss Crumbley. Let me show you her about a year ago. Check this out. Not that she looks good there or anything, but damn. She's like 48 years old. She ain't looking too good. Well, and do you think they'll get time served as well? Because they've been in there since December of 2021. Oh, she looks awful. Hey, Shell. I hope everybody who is sick is feeling better. We have a lot of sickies. That picture right there, though, just tripped me out of her with the horses. So I don't know if she grew up in Alabama or where her parents are. I have no idea who bought her a horse named Mystery. I don't know. But it's in historic images, and I have no idea why. It's so weird and random. But there you go. All right. So let's continue with her. So now she is wanting 3 witnesses banned. This chick has some nerve. Let's read through this from the Detroit Free Press. The embattled mother of convicted Oxford school shooter Ethan Crumbley wants to block 3 witnesses from testifying at her upcoming historic trial, arguing that what they saw on November 30th, 2021 is so gruesome and appalling that it could unfairly prejudice the jury. But more than that, her lawyer argues it's irrelevant to her case. Jennifer Crumbley is asking a judge to exclude the excruciatingly painful testimony of 3 witnesses who saw and survived the horror of her son's crimes. The first one is a teacher who locked eyes with the gunman before he opened fire on her, shooting her in the arm just 6 inches from her heart. An assistant principal who gave mouth-to-mouth to a dying teenage boy who had been shot in the back of the head, telling him she loved him and to hang on, though the boy would not make it. A student who was stuck in the bathroom with the shooter, frantically texting his family as he heard the gunman shoot his final victim, who was ordered to his knees before being shot execution style. And here she is, the Stay Puffed marshmallow woman, Jennifer Crumbley. Y'all, look at her. So she's turned on her husband, which is no surprise. But did she turn? What is he thinking? Another affair came out that he didn't know about? How's he handling that shit? She's got balls. So here is what it says as a quote. The factual evidence is so devastating, gruesome, and appalling that its admission would certainly inflame the passions of a jury. That's from Shannon Smith's filing. Smith argues that what went on inside the school that day has nothing to do with the elements of the trial, or the elements of the crime that the mother is accused of. Rather, it's about the mom's case, about what happened before the shooting, not during or after. It's about how the Crumbleys behaved as parents, whether their actions or inactions led to 4 children dying, and whether they could have prevented this. So this is going to be a pretty historical trial. No one has ever been charged like they've been charged. This is the first in its time. And this video was playing at the bottom of my screen on the Red Wings. Holy shit. I was like, is this AI or is this a real video? And it's a real video. I was like, who is this? What? Weird.
I heard Eduardo with like a G.
Speaking of ads, have y'all been getting some weird ads lately? Let me know. I got a couple for you. So you may or may not know that I've had a little visitor, my granddaughter, and we do a lot of putting her little potty seat on the toilet and taking it off, each time. And this came up and I thought it was so cute because it's a potty seat with love. So I must really be loving when I help her go to the potty. So AI gave me a good sign there. So that's a good thing, right? That's a good ad. It's cute. It's got a little heart on it, right? Put that in the merch store. All right, here's another one for you. I don't know what this is. Maybe someone could tell me. It looks like a tooth with beans in it. And it says, taking metformin. I don't even know what that is. Use this household food to lower blood sugar. I don't have diabetes. I don't have any kind of glucose problems. So I don't know why I'm getting something like this. It's really weird. And then the last one is going to be kind of gross. If you're eating, look away. But what causes plaque psoriasis? It's not what most people think. Gross. If I have to see it, you have to see it. So, AI can be cute, but it can be not so cute. There we go. All right. So what are you guys thinking about the crumb? I'm thinking since she's filing all these motions, she's going to be going first. So January 23rd, I believe, is the start of her trial, and we will stream that trial here. Right here on Jay is for Justice. We are with this till the end. We want to see what happens with this. All right. What is our next? We're going to get to Kimberlee Singler, but before we do that, I have one more update that I wanted to go over. And this happened here in Florida. We all know Grady Judd. What's up, Joel? Grady Judd is one of our favorites. And we have a new Grady Judd update. He arrested a nurse, I believe. Let me make sure this is correct. Yes, a nurse in Lakeland, Florida, for poisoning her neighbor's pets. For poisoning her neighbor's pets. I know a lot of you would be infuriated. Let's listen to Grady.
But our first in the community that may not know, we have 2 full-time people plus our ag detectives that work animal cruelty cases. And in fact, we've worked 2 hoarding cases in the last 30 days. And we started this case that I'm about to talk about on August 16th. And you go, why in the world did it take so long to bring this case to a conclusion? Well, I think you'll find out in just a few minutes why it did. But let me first introduce you to our victims. There were 3 victims. And our 3 victims were Daisy. Here's a Chihuahua. She's about 4 years old, and she was pregnant with 8 puppies. There were 2 kittens, or young cats, one named Pancake and the other named Luna. And they were loved by their family. The children and all of the victims of the family are devastated because on August 16th, the 3 of these died. And they died because they were poisoned. And we arrested the person that was responsible for that. Originally, our deputies responded to a call from the owners of Daisy, and Pancake, and Luna, and we saw that one of them was in horrific distress. Others had already died, and the one that was in horrific distress died immediately. From there, our animal cruelty investigative unit was contacted, as well as our detectives from our ag unit, and the investigation began. So the question is, how much work does it take to make a case like this? Well, we leave no stone unturned. We had to send samples to the University of Florida. The University of Florida then worked with Texas A&M. Texas A&M then worked with Michigan State in order for us to determine the poison that was used, and that we had to tie the poison to the various animals back to the source. And here's what we determined. We determined that Tamisha Knighton, here's her wearing rubber gloves and carrying the poison in a styrofoam bowl. There were small chicken strips that she put, as she called it, her special seasoning on it. And she put her special seasoning on the chicken strips. They were in the bowl, and then she set them out, and that's where Daisy, Pancake, and Luna consumed them and ultimately died of poisoning. Now, in a minute, why do I show you this picture from this video clip? Because she denies everything, as you can imagine. But I want to introduce you to the person that did this horrible act. This is Tamisha Knighton. She's 51 years of age. She says she's a registered nurse. The state of Florida shows that she's a registered, licensed practical nurse, okay? We call her an IJN, an in the jail nurse, because of her conduct. She was working for WellMed in Highland City. When we started this investigation, we had to exhume one of the cats, and we sent all the evidence away. It took from August until last week, and we thank the University of Florida, Texas A&M, and Michigan State for all working on this case so we could bring it together. They decided that the insecticide that was used in a very concentrated state that was put on the chicken strip, that happened to be the special seasoning, was folate. And this folate was put in such toxic levels that immediately it caused the death of these 3 animals. When we talked to Tamisha over this period of time, she totally lied about everything. She said, I do put chicken out to feed the neighborhood animals because I care for them. That was her excuse when we showed the photograph here. Well, why would you be wearing rubber gloves to handle food that you were just putting out because you like the animals? Right. When we ask, well, will we find any other substance in this chicken? She said, well, just my special seasoning. Well, her special seasoning was folate. So at the end of the day, we're going to give you a video that's going to show this picture of her taking the substance over and placing it on the ground. I can assure you of one thing. She may be an LPN who claims to be an RN that we say is an IGN, but we won't have her working in food services or in medical as a trustee. Here's our warning to everyone else. If you're having problems with neighbors and their animals, resolve it with a neighbor peacefully and appropriately and legally, or contact my animal investigations unit. Let us help figure out a resolution with you. Do not ever poison innocent animals unless, of course, you want to go to jail as well. Are there any other questions?
Sheriff, why? What did these animals do that just upset her so much?
She asked why. What's her reason?
She obviously didn't tell us the truth about anything else, but what she told us was that they were coming over into her yard. And she suspected that these animals got into the ant killer because we could see her spreading ant killer around her mobile home. That was her cover. But of course, our detectives, who are simply the very best, took samples of that as well to send off to the universities. So we tested the animals for the ant poison. There was none in their system. But what was in their system was folate from the chicken. So there was folate on the chicken, there was folate in the system of Daisy and Luna and Pancake.
Is folate not the chemical that's in the ant killer?
Folate was not in the ant killer that she put around the house. It was an insecticide. It was a heavy amount of insecticide that she put into this chicken.
I just wanted to be clear, because she was a nurse and worked in this place, that this wasn't a chemical or something that came from the place.
No, this chemical can be purchased over the counter.
And,
That's
it was not only
scary.
the 3 pets, but that Chihuahua also was pregnant. I mean, 8 puppies.
With 8 puppies.
Yeah, when you hear that, what do you think?
Oh, it makes me angry. It certainly makes me angry. So, and you're absolutely right. It was not just the 3. It was 8 more that she killed as well. But, of course, because they were not born yet, we charged with the 3. So why do you do this? There's no excuse for that. There's none. Zero. There's ways to deal with conflict even if you're upset about the cat and the dog, or the cats and the dog. But at the end of the day, she chose to do a criminal act, an intentional criminal act. This is not a mistake. It's not like you love cats and you've got too many of them because you love them and you just want to help them, and then you end up neglecting them for lack of ability to take care of them. She did an intentional act, and the intentional act ended up with our puppies being killed, our puppy and our kittens being killed. Okay?
Is she still in jail right now?
I don't know if she's bonded out or not, but she went to jail last night.
Do you know how long the two had been neighbors?
I don't know that, how long the two had been neighbors, no. Okay? Thank you all very much. Have a good
Dude, some crazy ass people out there, is there not? He is so kind, though. I love how he values children's lives, animal lives, people's lives. Like, he's really just a good man. I'm going to be very sad. It's going to be a very sad day when he retires, because who can fill his shoes? I mean, really, quite frankly. All right, let's get into Kimberlee Singler. This is our main story now. This is Kimberlee Singler, and we're just going to start it off with a few clips that I put together. If you're familiar with this case, let me know in chat if there's anything, that you've come across, because this is kind of something we don't have a whole lot of information on, right? Because she fled the country, this chick. So crazy. Let's get into it.
Here, this is 35-year-old Kimberlee Singler. Authorities believe she killed her 9-year-old daughter and her 7-year-old son and attempted to kill her 11-year-old daughter, all just days before Christmas.
Kimberlee Singler, 35, calls 911 to report a home break-in. She tells police that 2 of her children have been murdered. The police response report says officers found an adult female and an 11-year-old female who had sustained injuries, as well as a 9-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy who were deceased at the scene.
Okay, so what I'm confused about is that she was treated and released, so they must have believed her in the beginning and let her go, but I don't know, where the other, it's unclear where the other child went when they went to the hospital and were both treated. So at any rate, she calls 911. She says there was an intruder. They've had this domestic thing going on for 5 years, which we know can get absolutely crazy. So she gets out of the hospital, and it's really unclear what happens from there, but she ends up in Potatoes Land in the UK. So let's listen.
Singler's third child, the 11-year-old daughter, was transported to a local hospital for treatment. She is hospitalized. Singler is also treated for injuries.
Officials say they believe she is now on the run. So here's what we know at this point. Colorado Springs police responding to a burglary call that was last Tuesday at a home in the 5300 block of Palomino Ranch Point. They found her 2 youngest kids dead inside that home. Authorities now believe that burglary call was totally unfounded. Yesterday, investigators obtaining an arrest warrant for Singler on 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of felony child abuse, and other charges.
Death. They say Kevin Wentz and Kimberlee Singler, formerly Wentz, have been involved in a contentious divorce and custody dispute since September of 2018 in Larimer County. Wentz's attorney.
And it's so wild to think. You think about, every time I hear of a crime involving a domestic, I think of the Watts case when I hear about it in Colorado. And just to think that their domestic started in August of 2018, which is the same exact month that Chris Watts took out his family. Isn't that weird? Creepy. This was in Colorado Springs, which is several hours south, but when they said August of 2018, I was just like, oh, yikes.
Singler, formerly Wentz, have been involved in a contentious divorce and custody dispute since September of 2018 in Larimer County. Wentz's attorneys tell us the court ordered the children to have time with their father December 16th through the 31st, so the second half of December. When Singler failed to appear, Wentz's divorce attorney made attempts to contact Singler. She never responded.
A death investigation in Colorado Springs led police across the ocean. Authorities arrested Kimberlee Singler in London, who fled the country after officers say she killed her 2 children, 9-year-old Ellie Wentz and 7-year-old Aiden Wentz. Their 11-year-old sister was hurt but survived. The case against Singler is now on hold as Colorado waits for the UK to send her back.
The rules say that once she's been arrested, there is 60 days in order for them to get all the information, get over there, prove it to the judge. Here are the crimes, judge. Here's all the evidence. Here's the detailed affidavit. Here's the evidence that we can show, the pictures.
All right, so there is the synopsis. Let's take a look at this. So they have 60 days. I didn't realize that. Her mom owns the place. Yeah, I don't know. I know she lived there, and I don't know. Like, it's unclear what happened, but let's read. This is directly from the Colorado Springs police. It says on December 30th, which was the same day that Koberger was arrested last year. Weird. Kimberlee Singler was taken into custody in the UK without incident. Detectives with the Colorado Springs Police Department's homicide unit work closely with multiple law enforcement agencies pursuing the ongoing investigation. No additional details can be shared regarding the case or Miss Singler's arrest. And everything's sealed right now. So, they got the 911 call on December 19th for a burglary. So it says Miss Singler and her 11-year-old daughter were treated for their injuries on the scene by Colorado Springs Fire Department and American Medical Response prior to being transported to local hospitals. So did they split them up to local hospitals for further medical treatment? The Colorado Springs Police Department Homicide Unit responded to the scene and assumed the investigation. As the investigation into this case unfolded, it was determined the initial report of a burglary was unfounded. So it took them 5 days from the 19th to the 26th. That was when they got the warrant, and she was already gone. So in those 5 days, she was gone. On the 26th, the day after Christmas, they got the warrant for 2 counts of murder in the first degree, 2 counts of murder in the first degree, 1 count of criminal attempt, or 2 counts of criminal attempt murder in the first degree, 2 counts of child abuse, a class 2 felony, 1 count of child abuse, a class 3 felony, 1 count of assault in the first degree, class 3 felony. $10 million bond was set by the court, and everything is under seal. When the warrant was issued, the Violent Offender Fugitive Task Force began efforts to locate Miss Singler. She was last seen on Saturday, December 23rd. So she was last seen on the 23rd, and then on the within 3 days, she was gone. I don't know where the 11-year-old went. That's what they had like a custody hearing, so maybe she went to her dad. Maybe they called the dad. But why did it take 5 days to figure out that it wasn't an intruder? Isn't that weird? Being that there was the little girl survived. And what were their injuries? We don't know. We don't know what the injuries were either. Weird. So let's take a look at a couple other things here. Oops. Everybody does that. It's okay.
Sorry.
Here it is. Okay. So we have here some more information. According to Wentz's attorneys, she had filed a request for a temporary protection order in El Paso County, alleging that her ex-husband waved a knife at her, and he denied the allegations. They still haven't released them. The 11-year-old was with her in England. Do we know, though, that he wasn't abusive as well? We don't know if she was unfounded in this. I can't jump to that conclusion yet. Because how do we know the backstory is fake? I don't know. I need more information on this one. It's weird. And no one's suspecting the husband on this one. I mean, like online, like no one's saying, I haven't seen anything. She was staying in an expensive hotel. How did she pay for that? Weird. On December 18th, Singler allegedly killed 7-year-old Aiden and 9-year-old Ellie. It's alleged she didn't contact police until the early morning of December 19th, so she waited a day. Or hours. I don't know how many hours, but she waited nonetheless. Singler disappeared on December 23rd, and Saturday, officers from the National Crime Agency discovered that she was staying at a hotel in Kensington, West London. She appeared at Westminster's Magistrates Court on Monday for an extradition hearing. Singler told the court she did not consent to being taken back to the U.S. and was remanded in custody until January 29th. And I want to thank Potato for these screenshots you guys are getting right now. Thank you so much, Potato, for your help. Then in November of 2023, Larimer County Court heard a hearing on Singler's emergency motion to restrict parenting time regarding the same allegations about the knife. The court found there was no imminent threat from Wentz and rescinded the order. In November, the court also ordered that the children have additional time with their father around Thanksgiving and again December 16th through the 31st. The exchanges of the children would happen at a police station in Colorado Springs and the Greeley police station. The court ordered that Singler pay fees for Wentz's attorneys and that Wentz be awarded additional time with the children that he lost because of her allegations. She sounds like an ass. Court hearings were also scheduled for January for contempt motion filed against Singler for failing to allow parenting time orders and modifying parenting time. And then, let's see what this is. Oh, okay. Here's another story. Back in, look at those kids. Bless their hearts. Poor babies. In November, the court also ordered Singler to bring the children to the police station in Colorado Springs on December 16th. Fast forward to December 16th, she never showed up. Wentz and his attorney attempted to contact her, and she didn't respond. So his attorney filed an emergency motion for law enforcement assistance to enforce parenting time. On December 18th, the court granted the motion, and a status conference was scheduled for December 20th. This dude was doing everything he could. So I think if you think about it, if she reported a home invasion and they were taken to the hospital for injuries and his other 2 children are dead, they're going to contact that father immediately. So she was probably with her dad, I would imagine. And now this poor girl has to grow up knowing that she survived and her little siblings didn't. That is some evil right there. That is some evil. I'm going evil like my Regal Beagle. And then we have... Oh, we already read that one. Okay, this is our final one here because there's not a whole lot of information in this case, but I did want to introduce it to you guys just because I want to follow it when she gets back here. So this is her hearings on the docket right now. So we have on the 10th, which is 5 days from now, she is going to be at a pretrial conference. Or no, this is him. Pretrial conference. Kevin Wentz. This is for him. This is for the custody things. So they have a hearing scheduled on the 10th. And then they have another hearing on the 24th for a permanent restraining order. And then they have their pretrial conference for their divorce, I guess. But she's going to have to appear from the UK for these hearings. So she'll probably be on Zoom. So the 10th and the 24th of this month. So she's sitting in the UK jail. So Potato, what are the jails like in the UK? Like when you're put in jail in London there. Is there a reason that she would be like, I don't want to come back? I mean, is UK jail more cushy? I don't know what it's like. Let us know in the chat, Potato. And then I think that would be... Oh, I wanted to show a Google map of where she lives. We saw little screenshots, but I mean, they're nice townhomes or whatever they are. I wonder if she had a job or what she was doing here, but this is, you can't go in there. But this is where they lived. And you know that Colorado isn't cheap. There is no death penalty in Colorado anymore. London jails have spas and tea parties. I wonder how long she's lived here. This is when they were building them in 2007. Isn't that wild how you can just look at time lapses? Weird, huh? Weird age we live in now still trips me out sometimes. They're not fun. She wouldn't want to go back because she won't want to face the charges, but she will give in eventually because her ass is still in jail. And the longer she's here, the less it counts. Oh, she won't get time served. But does England, like, will they eventually be like, okay, girl, you got to go? Because, like, are they going to want to keep paying for her? You know what I mean? Are they going to want to keep feeding her and housing her? Or are they going to be, is there going to come a point where they're going to be like, bitch, you got to go back to the U.S. now. Like, you've overstayed your welcome. Or would they keep her forever? I mean, she's wanted in the U.S., so, like, they have 60 days. So I guess after that 60 days, they ship her back. That's when it's like, we're not keeping her anymore. It is really interesting. But how the hell did she afford to go to the UK and afford an expensive hotel? That's the question of the day. So we will follow this and see what happens next. Obviously, it won't be till the end of the month, which is fine with me because we've got a lot going on. We've got the Kimberlee trial starting this year or this month. It can take years. Wow. So she could just sit there for years. So is she appointed an attorney in the UK? long appeals. She gets appeals even though she took off. She's like a wanted criminal. That is so wild. So they probably give her a court-appointed attorney in the UK to represent her. Mike Sanner. Oh my God. He said the UK will put them in a box and lose them. And then you have to call around and try to find her. Just keep her there. They're going to lose her. Oh my gosh. That's wild. 60 days. Oh, we got Booty Patrol hearing next week. See what happens with him. Maxed out credit card. Yeah, true. 60 days for the U.S. to prove probable cause and force extradition, which it'll probably happen, hopefully. All right, guys. To wrap up our Friday Live, I know this one's pretty short, but we've got Jay is for Justice After Dark tonight. You're going to want to join. This is part 2 of the Epstein. So this is our going out video. This is really disturbing. This defendant, I'm sure you've seen it, literally attacked this judge. And it came out now that she had chunks of her hair ripped out of her head. This poor judge. Chunks of hair. Let's watch.
Is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before I pronounce sentence?
So basically, I would like to tell the courts, here, like, based on my criminal history, like, I feel that, like, I shouldn't be, like, sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history? Have you looked at your criminal history?
I actually just, I looked at it.
I mean, you lived it, I suppose.
I just looked at it, yeah.
Yeah. Shape that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
He was on her that long. Get off of her. Get off of her. He was on her for that long. There she is. She had chunks of hair ripped out. Look at that guy is bleeding. Poor lady. Barbara Streisand looking ass. Look at her. Messed up. Want to see that again? Watch him dive, literally. He's all calm, too. And then she laughs at him.
A taste of something else because...
Yeah, I'm not digging you, she says. Watch this. He says, fuck that shit. That is so nuts. Watch again.
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
the guy in the suit right here just standing there. The guy with the gray hair. Look at him. He doesn't even try to help. Look, he backs up. He ought to be ashamed. Shame on him. He backed up. Watch. Watch the guy in the blue suit. Oh, man. How people react in these situations. Is that his lawyer? You just look at him. He's looking like, oh, so they had him, and then I think he got loose again. Look at this idiot. Way to lend a hand, dude. Not today. He's just standing there. And look at this deputy. This deputy's just standing there. And then look at this girl over on the side. She's freaking out. This guy's standing there with his freaking hands folded. And look at the people behind there. They're laughing. This couple is laughing. He's leaned in and he's laughing. Look at it. He's got blood on his head and everything else. It's some lady's hollering, get off of her, get off of her. I know he was punching the shit out of him and it had no effect whatsoever. Yeah, she had hair ripped out of her head. Poor lady. Damn. There needs to be some kind of protection for. Look at, he comes around the corner. You all right? Dang. Nuts, man. Despicable. All right, guys, that wraps up our Friday Live for Friday, January 5th. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you are not already. And if you'd like more, and you would like to become a Patreon or a member of the channel, then you have access to our Discord. We would love to see you over there. We're 7 away from 94,000. I want to thank you guys for your support and, as always, your viewership. I'll see you guys tonight for J is for Justice After Dark. Enjoy the credits and dance it out like you do the best. Bye.
Where do you think you're going? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together.
Blank credits again today? There is something wrong here. Is my thing not working, or are we just lulling here? Come on, guys. We need to get hyped up here. All right, let's dance it out. Grow up. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Pull it down below your chin and aim it at your chin. I had a hard time hearing you. Do you mind pulling your microphone down and then aiming it up at your chin?
I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 I don't give a damn.
psychopathy.
You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact.
And niggas wife me once they get that good punani.
Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack.
In the name of Jesus, Father God, Lord.
I don't want Jennifer or two Jennifers.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Bye, Jennifer.